neighborhood. So when we had our homecoming game, we were playing. It's a neighborhood thing. Okay, so it was a little bit important. We had a lot of football players on our team that had a lot of contact with the Mt.Eden players, and there was a lot of emphasis on that game. Coach Crocker down here was our coach, along with Coach Prince, and he remembers that game. That was a big game for us, and we had the fortune of being able to play and defeating Mt.Eden in 1967, 66-67. And we did so because we had leaders on the team, the seniors of the group, the leaders on the team, led and taught and showed the juniors on the team and the sophomores on the team how to win. How many seniors are in here? You guys are the ones that are going to beat Mt.Eden this time. You guys are the ones that are going to lead it to victory. You guys are the ones that are going to make it happen. Now, I'd like to tell a little story. I had a good game in Mt.Eden game. I like to play all the time. I played center, I played middle linebacker, and I was a punter. And I didn't want to get off the field. I think Coach Crocker can tell you that. But as middle linebacker, I had 18 tackles and 3 interceptions that game. Number 2 interception I want to tell you about, because it involved Coach Crocker down here. And Coach Crocker was running up and down the field, and he was helping us from the sidelines by talking to us real loud. And man, I was covering the man out of the backfield. They went out to the flat, and the quarterback threw a pass, and it was my second interception. As I dove for the ball, I rolled up on it, and there was Coach Crocker right on the other side of my cleats, and it managed to hit him right in the crotch. He said he still remembers it. But I do want to tell you that the friendships I made at Tennyson I still have. We were just talking about all the people I still am in contact with. Henry Chavez here and I wrestled for Tennyson High School, and we went and we were co-captains on the wrestling team. We had taken first in the Hayward Athletic League. We took first in the North Coast sectionals, and we went to the state meet together. And he and I are gladiators, man. We fought together back to back, and we're still friends. And I want you to know that a lot of friendships you guys have here will go a long ways into the future. Now Dave helps me with property management. I'm a real estate broker up in the Sacramento area, and I've been in business for 15 years doing that up there. And I have a lot of friends coming from the Bay Area, moving up to Sacramento. I help them with that. But the stuff that taught me how to be tough in business, I learned from my coaches, like Coach Crocker down here, who said, "I hope I didn't yell at you too much, Mike." And I told him right up, I said I needed it, because I had to focus, and Coach Crocker taught me how to focus. And focus is what it's all about. That's what winning's all about.
One thing I just want to say to you young guys, you never know where life is going to lead you. When I went off to college, I didn't have to take PE because I was a veteran, and veterans are always excused. And so I never took PE. In fact, I think I took a course just for the heck of it in trampoline, because I almost killed myself, but it was kind of fun doing that. In the spring of '69, I started at Tennyson in the fall of '66. Spring of '69, the then basketball coach Jim Young came to my office. I don't know why he was there. He was one of the other captions from the PE department. But he asked me if I would coach freshman boys basketball. And I said, "What are you asking me for?" He said, "Well, he would see me down at gym. We had a math teacher. We'd go down there and shoot hoops all the time." So I said, "Yeah, but you got to show me too, because I never coached basketball before. I played in high school, but who paid attention to coaches in high school?" Which you should do, by the way. You can learn a lot, even from Terry. But anyhow,
it's true if you really listen.
So anyhow, fall of '69, during the summer, the guy that recruits me leaves. He goes off someplace else. New coach comes in, so I went to him and said, "What do you want me to do?" He said, "Anything." So from then on, I started stealing ideas from other people and whatever, reading books. So I coached boys for a few years, and then I was asked in the spring of '77, take a choice, coach boys or coach girls basketball. And my friend here, Mrs. Benchero, got me involved in girls basketball. And so I took the girls basketball. I was blessed with a lot of talent, let me tell you. We went in 7 years, we won 4 championships. Missed the playoffs 1 year by the flip of a coin. Went to North Coast 3 times. But never win at North Coast because they always went against bigger, better teams. But it was a wonderful experience, and it's nothing I ever planned when I was in college. That was strictly an accident. So you have to understand sometimes life takes you places where you don't expect to go. And one of the places it took me is teaching. Because I want to tell you, when I was in high school, I was pretty much a goof-off. My wife looked at my high school transcript and she said, "My God, how did you get in college with this?" Well, I did. And that's why I relate to a lot of you guys. I just goofed off in high school. I had a great time. Barely graduated, but I had a lot of fun. I enjoyed myself. But I paid the price in college, I want to tell you. It cost me, because when I got in college, I was up against a lot of guys that were much better prepared than I were, so I had to struggle. So for you younger guys, that are not seniors, if you plan on college, you better make it easy for yourself by working hard in high school. Good luck tomorrow. I'll be at the game with my Mt.Eden buddies, unfortunately.
You gotta stay.
Sit down.
Sorry.
No, but they started that
These guys have been my buddies my whole teaching career, so, you know.
Before they were corrupt.
Yeah, well, they made a mistake of one. You know, had a head injury with the Mt.Eden. Good luck tomorrow night.
Okay, thanks, Coach.
Ross, what year did you? 70? 70. Wasn't that the year that the ugliest quarterback ever resulted? Didn't you have the ugliest quarterback our school's ever had?
Yeah.
So,
Your taxes just went up.
But he has the best arm in the entire league.
Oh, it doesn't matter.
The brains to match. And I don't live in Alameda County.
You don't think they have friends?
I don't know him. I don't know him. We're just having fun. I do want to talk about a championship game. You know, championship. I don't think anybody in this table knows what that's about. But I said this table. This table. We got one over here.
Don't hurt me.
this year.
We got one over here. I'm gonna tell you what made us a champion.
Talking.
We were in condition. Coach Prince.
We did.
Where's he at? He didn't show up tonight. He did an excellent job of conditioning us. And some of us subscribe to this theory. If I can't make my body do what it does not want to do,
Give up.
how can I make your body do what I want it to do? It starts here. Get your body in condition. Get it under control. We were as strong in the fourth quarter as we was in the first. And there was something about the team. After the first couple of games, we knew we were on to something. We knew all we had to do was play our position. If we played our position, our backside was covered. We knew that. And there was such a confidence. We went into the Castro Valley game, the last game of the year. Both teams were undefeated. This was for all the marbles. They had us down 6-0 in the fourth quarter. They missed the patch. I picked up a fumble on the 20, and I knew we were going home with it. We gave the money to the mailman. We were going to the bank, the money man, Claude McMillan. This guy ran the 110 flat and had the biggest thighs you ever wanted to see. You talking about a man who was tough. If he could pop the hole, he was gone.
What's he saying?
What did he do? Oh, by the way, I was second in the league, defensive tackle. It's because I didn't vote for myself. I was a gentleman. Also, we knew it was fixed.
It was fixed. That's
It was
for sure.
fixed because the guy that was first only had one leg. So that guy with one leg met our mailman on the 20, and he immediately coughed it up. I don't know why a 300-pound lineman crushing Claude would cause him to spit up the football, but he did. We ended up scoring 6-0, and his name became Prince. It was no longer Coach. We looked out there, and there's Lester Root. This guy has never kicked the football all year long, and we doubted this stuff, practicing the pat, and I'm thinking, Prince, I'm not thinking, I'm saying it, we're on the sideline. Prince, where is your head? Well, you need a glass belly so you can see what's going on, man.
Looking right
Claude
at your chest.
McMillan, he's the guy that did our PATs. His percentage wasn't too bad, but every one of them was like a dying quail. And it took forever to get over the goalpost. But he had a good percentage, and now we're going with Rude. Well, Rude did such a good job selling that even our team didn't realize what was going on. Rude's our backup quarterback. Perfect snap. Ken Moulton stepped into the end zone all by himself. If he'd have dropped that, man, we would have killed him. So we won the championship, 7-6.
Yeah.
We still had some time to go. And when we hit that, when D hit the field, all it was said, play your position. We weren't overconfident. We just knew that this team would not beat us if each man played this position. And what a great feeling that was. We enjoyed the rest of that game. But conditioning was the key. I think Coach asked me, I went on second in the state in heavyweight. By the time I got to state, my condition was such that I weighed less than the 198s, and I'm taking on dudes 400 pounds. My first match was a guy about 400 pounds. He's down. I can't grab his navel. My arm is like this. This
That's what
dude
you
was
were doing.
huge.
You were running around.
And I knew that all I had to do was stay slippery and don't get underneath it.
Don't get pancaked.
The rest of the matches, the entire day, went into OT. And the guy at the semifinals I'm facing was Big Gut. This guy defeated me in the semis at the sectional. And this guy was his big gut was like a beer belly. He looked like he was 40 years old, but he was all iron, let me tell you. And I'm facing this guy, and I know that I'm in for it. We went into OT. In OT, he quit. He just run out of gas. And before I took the mat for OT, I was standing there looking down on him as he's gasping for air. You see, I developed my body to where it had a third wind. We all know what a second wind is. It comes in smooth. I had a third one. And my win at the state level in wrestling had nothing more, no technique. I was blessed with an athletic body. Good hand-eye coordination, a built-in gyro. I had some strength, but I had no technique, no form. I attribute it all to conditioning. And if I can encourage you guys, conditioning is major.
The 1970 championship team, I think we still have we're rated number 5 or 4 in the state. We allowed 240 yards on the ground the entire season.
Wow.
Minus 27. Minus 27 at Castle Valley. Minus
We
27.
took a lot of teams for no yardage.
Minus 27 at Castle Valley.
Okay. Hayward High, we went against them. The first half they scored, they got 10 yards on us, and then we took them for a minus 10 yards the second half, so they scored no yards. I played with a bunch of
Idiots.
one of a kind team, except for this one defensive back, renamed nameless because he'll say something earlier
I
later.
will.
We beat some of the best teams that the league had ever had at that time by pretty good score. We had a quarterback that could. You've seen Elway when he goes back and throws that bullet. That's what our quarterback could do. Our quarterback could change. He could do an audible like this. Everybody knew. We were in good shape. We had a hill at Tennyson. I don't think it's there anymore. We called it Crockett Hill. Is it still there? Yeah. Because the last time I saw it, I had a bunch of pipes sticking
Why,
out.
you guys ran up and down it?
We had to run up and down it all the time. Coach was named after him because that was, if you messed up, you might as well start running the hill. we had another coach by the name of Lawrence. I don't know if he's still here. Well, yeah. And I told Tim here that in track, I was a sprinter. I ran 180 low hurdles. And I went to the North Coast section. Because I'd knock everybody down as my arms were moving.
And the hurdles, too.
And the hurdles, 180 low hurdles. I came out. I lost my match. And I came out and I kicked the door. As you know, going out of the gym, going to the field. I kicked that door as hard as I could. I was so ticked. The door went about that far.
That's how strong he was.
That was at least I could open it. And behind the door, I knew it hit somebody. I didn't know who, and it was Mr. Lawrence. And he said it exactly. Oh shit. Lawrence was. Well, we were playing one game, and he said, if we lose this game, you guys are going to run back to the school, and then we're going to start running the track. There was no nonsense when we played. Although our junior year, we got shut out 6 games. We took advantage. We were a losing team. We had no hope. We had no real conditioning.
So you smoked dope.
That's what you guys did. That's why you could jump so high. Then we had this guy who was our center.
Oh, here we go.
Who was all league, all South County. He was captain of the wrestling team. And this is Brown. This is him. He sat there. We were all juniors. Last few days of the school year, he came in. He says, if you guys don't want to put your heart into it and give it everything you got through every game, there's the door. Leave. Because I'm only going to play with somebody that we can win a championship with. No one left. We were champions. Thank you, Steve.
I don't remember them, so please forgive me, I wrote some of these down. But one thing I wanted to do was give out a special thanks to the organizer of this event, because it's very special. I played for football 4 years, and I was on the track team for 4 years, and I wrestled for 3 years. And I got 7 varsity blocks. I only had 7 varsity blocks, but so I played a lot of sports. Tennyson High School. I had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun memories. And we as teammates, we shared a special bond from the practice and the game times we spent together. I reflect on it from nowadays. It was some special times. And we all volunteered to go on the team, and it was just kind of a freak accident that we all met together and we all became friends. And going into our senior year, I was very optimistic because I knew we had a fine balance of players. I remember Coach Prince challenged us during a halftime speech in our junior year by asking us if any of us had ever been in a street fight, because we were getting beat up pretty good. And he challenged us to be a lot more aggressive. And this was an influence on me to play some smash mouth football. I really wanted, that's what we wanted to do, that's what we had to do. I took great pride in physically blocking someone away from where the ball was going to go. The ball was going to go here, my man was going over here. I can remember at the beginning of the season reviewing blocking assignments for everyone on our team, for every play, for different defenses. Because I felt it was very important to understand where everyone on our team was going to be on every play. I just wanted to know what was happening. And I think that's very important to know as you play. What's this guy doing? What's this guy doing? It's important for the whole scheme of the game. And I can remember Sam Major, we had a play where we had a trap up in the middle where I'd hike the ball and kind of run around, stand in place a little bit, and then I'd go off here and Sam would come through and sweep and knock out the guy, and it was a gainer every time. It was an old play that Coach Prince had him. 15 trap, and that sucker worked every time. And that was a good play. I remember that. I remember I was lucky enough to be each week we had different co-captains for our games. Coaches selected co-captains, and I was lucky enough to have been selected as a co-captain for our homecoming game. It was myself and Gary Coates. And we had a big rally at the Tennyson gym with all the stands filled with the sophomores. Everybody had their colors and cheering and everything. And Gary got to introduce the players, and I got to give the speech. And I remember it had been written in the newspapers that we were a Cinderella team. We hadn't done well in our junior year. But here we were coming on strong. And I made my claims that against this, that we were not a Cinderella team, and we were very good, and we were very well balanced. And we had paid our dues, and we were for real. I felt that way. We did get a lot of help from our attentive assistant coaches. We had some good young coaches that year, and I do believe that did, with their special skills and influence, that really did help us. We had some hands-on coaching.
No doubt.
That did help us.
No doubt.
Lee Becker and
Yeah.
Coach Gannon and Coach Gannon. Probably the first year that we really had some great college young coaches there that come to help us. That was really great. And just look, see, I don't see my teammates, these teammates of mine very often, but they are my brothers. We worked hard, we played hard, and we won. We were the champions. Thank you.
Tell him how much you idolize us. He did.
Everybody did.
Harry did.
What Tim's talking about is my brother played on that championship team that these guys from '70, and so I was in I guess I was in 7th and 8th grade, and I'd go to the games, and it was just I would marvel at these guys. I mean, they were 4 or 5 years older than me, and then they had that great season that they screwed up a little bit in the last game.
Hey.
Anyway, so yeah, it was fun growing up around that. So anyway, let's see, I graduated in '75. One thing I remember, I think I probably told the story last year, but I was a quarterback for my first 2 years. My freshman year, we were undefeated, had an undefeated team. And my sophomore year, we didn't do so well. But when I was a junior, our quarterback was a guy named Donnie Moore. And Coach Becker said, "Hey, Major, what do you think about going to wide receiver?" And I really hadn't thought about it. He said, "Yeah, we'll make you like an Ed Podolak. We'll put you at the little wing position." And quarterbacks generally have good hands. So as time went on, they just kind of started throwing to me because I could hang on to it. And it worked out great for me. But at first, I wasn't quite sure. That was one thing I wanted to mention, that be a little flexible. If the coach sees something in you, or maybe you're not starting right now, but maybe he can move you somewhere where you might start. Be a little flexible, because it ended up working out really good for me.
Yeah, Harry.
Let's see. One thing I was trying to think of what to say on the way over here, and something came to mind was being teammates, being connected, because you can move something a lot better when you're connected with each other. So let's get a picture of a rope, how a rope has all kinds of strands on it, and all those strands make up the rope, and it's strong. But also a team's a little bit like a chain, and it's only as strong, especially defensively. If you have a weak link, it's gonna screw the game up. One other thing I thought of was
Tell him how much you like golf.
one other thing I thought of was when you're in the midst of the
Team
game,
sport.
it's the second half. Second half, you're starting to get winded a little bit. You're starting to huff and puff. I got a picture of that next play. You never know when a good play is going to happen for you. Especially like on the offensive line, you might want to coast a little bit. But I was seeing that you don't know if that one hit you make is going to break the game. And that one hit, so my point is, don't give up and don't coast, because you don't know if that one hit's going to turn the tide of the game. It was just a little side note.
Sit down, Harry.
One other thing I had to say, I just wanted to mention all you guys that have, this is away from football, I just want you to know.
You can't assume that.
You guys that have girlfriends, I just want you to be and think about you have your life ahead of you, and to be careful off the field with these girls.
Don't tackle them, in other words?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Sounds like
Point
no more
is
wrestling.
No more wrestling,
You're
yeah.
young and you're full of it like we were when we were young. We were full of it and we had a lot of fun, but your whole life's ahead of you, and the
So
girls,
you can be deprived.
and the girl's whole life's ahead of her. So just be careful out there.
All right, Harry.
That was a quarterback, a great quarterback. He also, you know what, it got to be too much. I said, hey, quit hanging on to me. Or more. That's what we used to say to you, too.
Go away from me, kid.
Yeah, get away from us. But I was just thinking about the Mt.Eden game because if it's a homecoming game, it was the second to last game, and we were undefeated right through that game, and we were doing good, but it was raining at Mt.Eden, and so it was muddy. You know, hey Ross, you only played defense. You know, just.
What did you play? Left out?
Hey guys, this is what happened when you get
I was going to compliment you, but forget it.
You would have been the first.
You know, they used to tell me that Puckett used to hit you in the head and say, go after the quarterback, Ross. Did you work you up? And then, so the one game that Puckett's not playing, you're not getting at the quarterback.
Did not get the quarterback.
So I got to believe what Puckett said. No, it was last game. But I was Ron Thompson was one of the greatest quarterbacks that ever came through our league. He's got to, unfortunately that year there was a quarterback out of San Lorenzo. His name was Tim Ireland, and he was great too. So Ron's setting the records, but our offense was doing 50. It was 50-50, 50 rushing and 50 passing, and of course the passing was Thompson and Ireland. San Lorenzo, all they were doing was passing because they couldn't rush. So when you're behind, you throw the ball. And what happened is that Mt.Eden, the second last game, it's raining, and we're cocky. We've won every game and whatever. So we're sitting in, and it's muddy out there. And there was a one of those pitchbacks and stuff. And I kept telling Prince or whoever's calling the plays, hey, do it. And it said, ball slippery. I won't drop it. I won't drop it. And sure as shit, they finally let me do it. And sure as shit, as I fumbled. But hey, wait a second. No big deal, really. Because that game, the score of the game, and we should have really kicked their butts. I would have said a different word, but it was 10-8 at Mt.Eden. 10-8. We came into the game. We beat San Lorenzo. We were really scoring a lot of 10-8. We scored. How did we do that anyway? We had a safety and a touch. We had a safety and a touchdown without a point after. And what happens is I score the touchdown, and I get 80 something yards of rushing. And on defense, they had a badass back. His name was Jordan. Ends up at Naval Academy, and this big dude. And I'm going, oh, this guy got through the line. One of the mistakes you guys made, you let him through the line, and he's coming at me. So I do what our technique-wise.
We wanted another back.
Hey, Ross, I ended up on my back. But I stuck my head in, I go boom, and I end up on my back. And that's not real good when you're trying to tackle the guy. But we're sitting on the bus going home, and we won the game 10-8. And we're talking and stuff, and I'm sitting next to Thompson on a bus, and you won't remember it, but I'm sitting next to him because I want to be. But he threw it. Hey, wait a second. He threw me the passes, so who cares? Anyway, so I'm sitting next to him, and Prince or somebody came on the bus and says, hey, why don't you guys shut up? It's only a ride from Mt.Eden to Tennyson. And he says, what are you guys so proud of? And he says, you guys didn't do anything. And I said, I had a great game. Hey, you know what? Take a look at the stats on that game. Because I scored a touchdown, I had 88 yards, I had a couple of receptions, It doesn't say anything about the tackles, but 10-8. So what? I had a great game. I didn't have to be grouped together with all the rest of the flunkies. But anyway, hey, you guys.
And I scored 2 points that
I'm going
game.
to tell you something about our team. One of the things about our team is we are friends. Know your friends. And I'll tell you what, winning's important, but doing it good is better. Doing it good. Do your best. Don't give up. You know, I've watched the Raiders over all these years. In the second half, when they're losing, what do you see? You guys know better than that. Arm tackling? Arm tackling. No, arm tackling. They gave up. What about Randy? No. Hey, listen. On defense, one defensive player can make the team, but I'll tell you what, it is a team sport.
It is.
And I'll tell you what, don't get your ego so high. Do the best you can do. Do the best you can do. And I'll tell you, be all you can be. And then go to Iraq and get yourself shot. You know, hey, we were anti-war. You know, Vietnam was going on. We were anti-war. In the 60s, you guys were going to Vietnam. But when we're coming through, we were looking at being drafted. There was a draft. A lot of draft.
So we all majored in football in college.
Maybe you did. I did. Anyway, what I'm just saying is that all you have to do is do the best you can do, and you'd be proud of what you do. And then if you lose, you did the best you can do. And then don't nail somebody that you know what, a lot of people don't have the skills or whatever. Just, hey, live with it and go on with it. That's all there is to it. We're still friends. We are. All successful. Money don't mean shit.
That's tomorrow. We play Sunset. It's our home game.
Is it? I mean, homecoming.
Oh, no, not no.
It used to be ours.
Heroes night.
Yeah, it used to be ours when we played. I mean, the only thing I can say is my quarterback when I was a senior is Mike Dennis now. My quarterback when I was a junior is Mike Taxman. So, you know, you never know when you're going to run into each other.
Well, those were your friends.
The only thing I remember, though, about that team is that we had a hell of a line, both sides, offensive and defensive. It was easy for us guys to get out of
Right.
because those guys were chasing the quarterback. Now, Tim Arnold was running all damn night. You know, I played with Tim at Chabot, baseball. He just got by the world. He was also a junior college all-American quarterback 2 years ago. But he beat him. So he was that.
Well, we were 30 to something.
40 to 30. The nice thing about Ron,
First half.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
the nice thing about Ron is that he leads the little pitchers that run under. Mike Dennis, he could never get it to me. That's why I scored a lot of touchdowns my senior year, because he couldn't believe I caught the ball. But you know, you guys go tear him up. I asked your coach if this was your first big game. He said you guys played O'Dowd last week. My daughter played for San Leandro volleyball.
You could have beat that
2 years
volleyball
ago.
team.
But I was sitting in the stand at San Leandro and I was watching Tennyson get the crap beat up 58 to 3. It's a little embarrassing. It sounds like you guys doing all right. You know, stay together, team sport, do what you can for everyone else. Go. The only reason I didn't get caught last night, I didn't like you shot.
Oh, sorry. What do you do, Leonardo? What do you do for a living?
I played last year. I came to Tennyson my sophomore year, field. I got to Tennyson. They asked me when I was going to play at. I was like, Tennyson. I was like, they suck. Basically, that's what everybody was saying when I got there. But when we got there, it was we just got my junior year. I got there. We just got Coach Smith. It was like a new, like everybody was trying to find out who he was. He had us out there. He did a good thing with the program. Though. He had us out there fundraising and everything. Just a lot of stuff that Tennyson hadn't had in a minute. I think we was like on like a 0-40 something losing streak, and then continued that season too because we didn't win the game.
Let's try it with Harry.
on me my junior year. But yeah, nah, we had a it was a chemistry thing our junior year. We had a lot of individual players. We weren't really close. And if you're a team, you got to be close to everybody. You got to be a family. Everybody has to believe that's gonna work. In my junior year, I don't know. It's different than my senior year because junior year was like a lot of individuals in it for themselves. But coming into my senior year, the summer, everybody worked hard. Coach Smith got us all together. My junior year, I did a little bit. I mean, I had a little something towards the end of the year. I started making plays, and then I just worked hard over my junior year every day. I got focused on what I wanted to do. I knew what I could do, but I wasn't really doing it. And junior year, we all got together. We worked hard. We had a lot of people come up from JV. Yeah, my senior year, my bad. And everybody came up. We went our first game against Bird. I don't know, the whole summer, that's all we could think about. People, our last year's team was like, we was juiced against Bird. We came out and blew them out 47-0. And then, let me see, Mt.Eden last year, we was with Mt.Eden last year. We should have won that game. It was just, I don't know, a lot of stopping the ball, usual stuff. But I'm going to say is a lot of you seniors, if you want to do something, if y'all plan on going to the next level, work hard, but really though, because it's different when you get to that next level. It's a lot of, you got the bottom once you get to the next level. You got to start all over and enjoy high school football while you can. Because once it's over, it's over. You never going to get a chance where you play with all the people you grew up with, everybody you love, your teammates, your brothers. It's not going to happen again. So y'all going to see, once it's over, it's over. So enjoy it while you can. Yeah, all right.
Let's see. Later, later reflects the change, I think. I'm just going to add 2 cents. And my first year over there's a lot of individuals, a lot of people out for themselves. And I remember at practice, Leonard would say, Coach, you need to give me the ball, you need to give me the ball. I said, man, you're the 20th guy to tell me that. Okay? When you're losing, everybody wants the ball. Let me get mine, right? And the next year, he worked hard, he was a team player, and he got opportunity, and he shined. He really did that. And he helped jumpstart the program into a direction where we are now, heading in the right direction. So I appreciate guys like Leonard coming back and sharing their stories and doing what he did when he was with us. The first grade quarterback, Ron Thompson.
We got a lot of motivation as seniors in our senior year. As you heard, our junior year was
Coach Tom Crockett, everybody. Coach Crockett. Coach Crockett, Coach Richard Clark's dad in '86. Was that good? Was that good?
Yeah, 2 years we had 1,000 yards more. It's one of the funnier stories his dad about his dad. Came out, it was the fourth quarter. There was about two plays left, one play left in the game. We were winning 7-6 over Hayward, and I said, just kill the clock. I didn't have faith in him dropping on the football. The quarterback was a little flaky, but I called an off tackle play for his dad. I figured he'd hit the line and get us 5 yards. He'd hang on the ball. He went 75 yards for a touchdown. On a play that's supposed to end the game, he
that year was number one in East Bay. This is back in '88. We had 3 D1 players on that defense and guys that had to act together in the classroom. We had more. We had more. And if they could have kept themselves out of trouble, we had a lot more. All right, but they played together. They came. Another team that came together. The young men after a tough season, right? They came together and played real tough. Nose tackle, believe it or not, the nose tackle was the defensive player of the year. It just says, Junior, I'll tell you, Junior, I'm glad to see you posted. Awesome reunion tonight, buddy. Okay? All right, God bless you, man. Suggested he moved from quarterback to wide receiver. He caught, it says, I don't know how Snoop Dogg would describe it, but the guy caught, a lot of passes, all right? I mean, this guy caught a lot of balls. Unfortunately, the next year I went someplace else and had to get the guys to gang up on him, all right, and get after him a little bit, and we did that. And but even after that, I know Harry remembers it coming in the locker room afterwards, right? Harry remembers coming in the locker room afterwards. I still say this to that. I told him, I said, hey, man, you won class in division. He just he took a whipping that night. I tell you, he took a beating that night over at Sunset High School against Sunset. But he's a great guy, and every time I see him, I have a great reunion with this guy. It's awesome. I've talked to this guy. He's got some good, strong values. I'm telling you right now, he's a great man. Okay, thank you, Harry. So anyway, in 1969, I was at a small place called Contra Costa Community College, and Coach Smith asked me the other day, how'd you have me come down to Tennyson? And I said, well, I'm working on doing some graduate work, which was no fun, but I was coaching, and I love to do it. My buddy said, hey, we're getting our teaching credentials. I said, that sounds like a plan. I need coaches down at Tennyson High School. So I go down there in spring 1970, and I'm kind of wandering around out there with Coach. I hadn't met Coach Prince too much, and I'm wandering around spring practice, and I wander over the receivers, and I start talking to receivers. I said, you want to work with the receiver? I okay, Coach, I'll do whatever you need. So anyway, then the summer came along, and Coach Prince took off for Utah with his family business out there in the summer, and kind of left the guys to Ray Gagg and then myself.
And you did the triples. Triple sessions.
I'll go down and get you. Don't worry. So anyway, we ran the summer program. The guys, all we had was an old Universal machine, right? I mean, it wasn't much to work with. But one thing we did do is we told them, you don't get in there and lift, your butt's running. No ifs or buts about it. Okay. Hey, you guys remember that. And I think, hey, if Randy Rushing was the middle linebacker, right? Randy's probably still running today because he owed so much. I mean, he's still running it. I'm telling you. But it was amazing. We go out there the spring day, the first day of practice in 2 days, and these guys have Muslim practice jerseys on, and we come out there and they got them tie-dye. That's 1970. They got them tie-dye. You know what tie-dye is? And I'm looking at this and I'm saying, football, okay, tie-dye practice jerseys. Right? All right, we'll be okay with that, I guess. I just have to go along with it. So anyway, we get to the middle of that first week or 2 days, and Coach Prince says we're going to have a goal line scrimmage. Now, Coach Gagg and I are handling the defense. Guys, it ain't fancy. It's man-to-man, zero, no free safety. 8 guys on the ball, up in the box. And I can name you the guys. We got Ross at one tackle. We got Puckett at the other tackle. We got Andrade in an end. We got Burke, I guess, was the other end. We got Coates at one linebacker. We got Brownie at the other linebacker. We got Seacom at safety. We got Moto at corner. We got Blakely at corner. We got Rushing at middle linebacker. And Irving Harford, the monster linebacker. Right? Am I right on that?
Yeah, unless you were carrying the ball, because what you said is hit the guy with the ball.
That's right. Real simple. With real simple philosophy. Okay? And we went out to have a goal line scrimmage. All of a sudden we decided the first week we were going to have a goal line scrimmage. And we had put the goal line defense in, but we weren't too stupid. We figured out, look, we're going to run the same defense as the goal line, just tighten it up. We went out there, guys, and we had that goal line scrimmage. I looked at Coach Gagg and I said, Coach, we got some good football here. I said, we got some good football. He said, what do you mean? I said, hey, we couldn't move the ball against ourselves. These guys were lights out on goal line defense. And I'll tell you guys, every time I compare a team nowadays, I go back to 1970, and Tom will tell you, when we were playing down in Mission San Jose with Junior, and we were playing Kennedy and Mission San Jose down there in the 88 talking about earlier when we went down to play Logan, and we beat Logan that year after we scrimmaged Monroe, and that was kind of like their first year.
They were champions that year.
Well, they
No, but
champions.
it was a scrimmage anyway.
It was a scrimmage. We
Citadel.
handled Monroe, and we handled Monroe, no problem. Scrimmage went down to Logan. It was I don't know, we won whatever it was. But one of the sidelights there, and I think we're talking about here earlier with Harry, was that our punter, Mike Paul, was our punter, and a fullback. He punted that game, and ball went straight up in the air. Gardner come back behind the line of scrimmage, and we're watching down on the film the next week, guys. And Ron's laughing because Ron remembers. Okay, Robert Andrade, our tackle and wrestler. Robert stands up and says, "I can punt better than that." Okay, and he did. 45 yards, 40 yards, right? I can punt. You know, he could kick the ball. Guys, hey, you got talents. Sometimes you got to show them. Don't assume the coach says so-and-so's a punter or so-and-so. That's another lesson I'm taking with all these years. Is that there's a lot of hidden talent out there, and sometimes guys don't want to show it because they think, well, you know, that guy's going to do the kick or whatever. So, you know, don't be afraid to find that short line that he's talking about. All right, but anyway, that was the interesting thing, and that's crucial to defense. Crucial to football team is your kicking game. All right, you got a big game coming up, and those are two factors we're talking about: defense and kicking games. All right, and then now, as the season goes on, I got some things to kind of relate to a little bit. And I hope this Komodo, we had the summer program, and we took you guys, Ray and I took you guys back in that back coach's dressing room back, and then we kind of ripped you guys for not working. No, right. We ripped you guys for not working too hard, and I made a statement to him. I said, "Hey, you guys, you got to pay the price." Komodo, he's smart. He comes up to me and says, "Coach," he says, "when do you know you paid the price?" We're walking out the door, right? Is that him? That's him. That's him. That's him.
I wanted to be offensive halfback. He didn't want to make me defense. I said, I want to score touchdowns. What's wrong with that?
So I said, Moto, I said, you don't know till it's over if you pay the price. You don't know, guys. Did you work hard enough when this whole season's all over? He's talking about being in condition, talking about these different things. Did you work hard enough? Well, I guess when it's all said and done, you'll know if you worked hard enough. So we progressed in that manner, and we did all the things that they talked about, and it was great. I have some confessions to make along the way. First of all, you alluded to the Castro Valley game. You talked about the Castro Valley game. And that was after our bye weeks. This has been on my heart for 36 years now. Wait,
Canyon.
no, it's Castro Valley, not Canyon.
Minus 27
Nah.
yards on the ground. Come on.
Canyon. Forget Canyon. Castro Valley. We're going to play Castro Valley. And we had a bye the week before. And every coach is concerned when you come out of a bye week. Yeah, we kicked their butt, right? We did. But what you don't realize, guys, is part of concern of coaches when you're in a bye week, even if not too fired up. Well, I remember Castro Valley came out and painted out the back of our school. You guys remember that? Yeah. Well, guys, I got to tell you right now, I have 36 years as Coach Dak and myself. So, I mean, that's off my heart.
We knew it.
You knew it, huh? You knew it. All right. So that's clear now, all right? That's clear. But anyway, championship game versus San Lorenzo. You guys talked about that. A lot of pride. That was a championship. Well, it ended up being the one, right?
We were both undefeated at the time.
You can ask Ron. You can ask Ronnie that when you are the number 2 statistic.
Raiders are undefeated starting this week.
You guys got lots of security. We're down. Ron was the second-rated passer in the league. Although there were 2 quarterbacks that threw for over 1,000 that year. Ron was one of the first in the history of the league, and Tim Ron was the other. Okay, but Ron has the win. But we're playing that game, and Coach Prince says, Coach, how do you think it's going to play out for the game? I said, Norm, listen. I said, San Lorenzo does what San Lorenzo always does. Come out running the ball for the first half. They come out running the ball first half. It's over. We got it. Guess what they came out doing? Running the ball. They came out running the ball, and it was lights out on them. All right? But here was a crucial play. I know Moto scored some touchdowns. That one play we're talking about diving up the middle, Moto. Yeah, you remember that one we threw the pass down the middle? He said you waited for the ball.
Yeah, I didn't see it. You couldn't throw 50 yards.
Hey! I couldn't see it. Guys, hey, the secret is, and I'm going to brag a little bit, the coach that drew that one up is right here. Great play. Okay, means a lot to them. All right, don't forget these people. Hey, coach, this is the best two words you can say. Then shake. Hey, then introduce yourself because they probably forgot you a little bit. You know, these guys here are still student looking as they were back then. You know, that's the '70s, right? Anyway, hey guys, listen up. Mountie, you've got to have a short memory after last week. And if you want to prove that what you did last week deserved better results than you got to prove it on the field this week. You can lament all you want to, and what coulda, shoulda, woulda don't mean nothing. It's a short memory game, and it's what you do now. All right, what you do now. And sincerely, you know, a lot of you guys are coming out of the PAL program, and something I started there at the end. And so I really feel, even though, you know, I feel an attachment to a lot of you guys because I know where your roots are in football. And that's, you know, I'm very blessed that opportunity came along. All right, so I'm going to tell you the same thing I still tell the guys tonight. I told them today because I left the field out in San Ramon where I coach. I tell them this every week. I love you. God bless you.
Okay, last. We have Paula Manchero. Paula.
Let's go.
All I want to say is you've all heard how these guys really like talking about the games that they did in Tennyson and what happened. And just make tomorrow night's game something that you'll talk about in 20 years when he's still coaching in Tennyson and he invites you back, okay? So make the game tomorrow night really memorable. You can come back and talk about it.
Okay, you guys hear me talk all the time. In fact, you imitate me a lot, way too much. Thanks, Chris. You make me feel good all the time. Okay, yeah. So tonight, I just want you guys to get the opportunity to see the other ranchers that have come through, hear some of their stories, and recognize what a great thing you have here as far as this bond among each other. Right? It's a special relationship that you will have for a lifetime. Right? You can see over here, it's just like yesterday when you guys were playing. You can see the exchange between Moto and Jones. It's just as if they were on the field yesterday.
I'm not going to see him tomorrow, but forget that.
He won't even remember today.
Even that, if you see this is gonna be Manasseh and Reynoso. Was that funny? It's true. Hey, he should make that real famous now. Let's go take a lap. Okay, t-shirt. The seniors, we got. Oh, Coach Songa, we forgot our on-staff.
Back in '89, when we played against Mt.Eden, it was our homecoming. And, we had the parade and all that, homecoming festivities. And, one thing that Mt.Eden sent over was a pair of jeans and a t-shirt filled with rags. And the note on there, it says, that Omar Johnson's going to average 20 yards per carry. So what we did, we took that, to the head. So we took it to him, and I think he gained like negative 20-something yards. We smacked the crap out of him. I think our no seven had like 7 sacks that game, and our total defense had like 15 sacks. I hope that's the attitude you gotta take it to them because Mt.Eden, Hayward High, those are all my rivals when I play. We put the smack down on Hayward High too, just because of our junior year when they celebrated on us on the field. So we celebrated back when they won senior year. But go get them. That's all I can say.
8 yards and being number 117 on the all-time rushing. But it's all in fun. He was known for his physical play, and in fact, you know, when I ask guys like Coach Backer and other people that played with Songa and been around him, they always say he was a hard-nosed player. He was physical, and he brought it every time. So what he speaks is how he acted. Okay, that's what he did on the field. Okay, so I'm hoping tomorrow night y'all do that. Okay? No? Yeah, who's that over there? Go ahead, Marty. Let express yourself. Okay. Did we miss any? Oh, also, Coach Matt Clark, played with Coach Becker's son, so they have a bond there. So he's gonna share. So we'll tell that story later.
I do want to talk though. I know line knows I'm going to say most of what I got to say for tomorrow night. But we've heard a lot of good stories tonight. But I want to talk a little bit about this team right here. This team is no joke. We're going to have a lot of fun tonight. We're playing around a lot tonight. But this team is for real. Now, all of these men sitting at this table here, they know what it's like to walk into a field and have the other team be afraid of them. They know what it's like. Many of you know what it's like to walk onto a field and be afraid of the other team. Now, Mt.Eden has watched your last 2 games. They watched you against Oakland, and they watched you against O'Dowd. They watched you this summer when they came out and they were laughing at Tennyson, chuckling it up on the sidelines, right? We came out and we smacked them in the mouth. What did they get? 30 plays, 1 yard, 2 yards, maybe? Tomorrow night is your chance. You're going to walk on that field, and Mt.Eden is going to be afraid. They are going to be afraid of you. And it's your chance to feel like what every single person in this room has felt like. Because this team is for real. Tomorrow night, when they're out there watching you, when they're on the sideline, they're going to see what this team is all about. And I'll talk to you again tomorrow. Hey, look, I know what the problem was last week. I didn't have my dream. I had my dream. I've been dreaming about this game. I've been dreaming about this game since this summer. Tomorrow night, it's for real. We're going to show them what Tennyson is all about. Okay, it's been a long night. But hey, tonight, as soon as you get home, go to sleep, man. Homework. You didn't do your homework? Oh. Yes, you did, remember? Okay, do your homework. Because, hey, education comes first, right? We're not in the NFL, right? Unfortunately. Okay, so go home, do your homework, get some sleep, take care of your body, be ready to go tomorrow, okay? Game face on no problems at school today. Go to tomorrow. Go to class. Take care of business. And then when we get ready to go over there, hey, it's for real this time. Maybe 3 years in the making. Okay, it's time for respect. You saw last Saturday what we're capable of doing, right? Yes, sir. Now, what happens last Saturday if we eliminate the turnovers? Right? Well, yeah. But we blow those cats out, right? Yes, sir. We blow those cats out. Tomorrow, let's play to our ability. Listen, let's play to our ability. Let's eliminate mistakes. And let's swarm to the ball carrier like we always do, right? Yes, sir. Like we always do. Okay, hey. What I want to close with is this. Tomorrow, play whistle to whistle, go like hell, and at the end of it, you'll get rewarded. Okay? It's been a long time coming. Guys, thank you. We'll see you again tomorrow night, huh? Thanks for coming.
Oh, you know what? Newark's without their running back, right? Their star running back.
Yeah.
Yeah.